Hello, class. Welcome to Spanish 101 and this intro to the class. This recording is kind of an orientation, right? For you to know what to expect and how to succeed. First, I want to start sharing some information, a little bit of information about myself. I've been teaching at City College for 12 years now. I teach all levels of Spanish, but I also teach Latin America and Latino literature. Um, Also, with Bright College, I've been teaching now for 5 years an intro to Latin American and Latino studies. And a fascinating class. This is kind of like a commercial here that I love to teach, and I always have a good report from my students. Latinx in Chicago. Highly recommended. It's a night class. We meet once a week, even though that is a 3 hours class, is totally fun. It's so much fun and interactive, and my students love it. Anyway, it is offered pretty much every semester, and I'll be sharing after this presentation some place on my space some info about many of the classes that I teach, just in case you are interested. So enough about me. So let's continue with this introduction to the course. So this is what we have. I'm thinking about the agenda for today. I want to talk about the course materials, all the resources you have available on Brightspace, the method of evaluation, right? How you're going to be evaluated, the worth of each assignment, where to find these assignments. Then we move to your student learning outcomes. So what you will be able to achieve once the semester ends, and a summary of evaluation. And then I want to talk about this very dynamic place that you can find on Brightspace, Café Español or Rincón del Estudiante. And it's meant for you guys to meet, chat about the course of any other subject or just practice your Spanish. Okay, so one of the more important things that the students sometimes are a little confused about it is like, we don't have a textbook. And, some students are like, how is that even possible? Well, I have collected enough material through the years that I don't really need a textbook. And especially because they're pricey. And I feel very bad, this is a short semester, right? 8 weeks semester. And I feel terrible when I have to ask my students to purchase a book that is 100 and so for a class that is going to only be going to be used for 8 weeks. So anyway, no textbook. However, there's a book that I highly recommended, but again, it's optional. And this is the cover of the book, English Grammar for Students of Spanish. Highly recommended. It's very cheap because it's not new. It's from 2012, but the content is splendid. The way that they explain everything side by side, English grammar with Spanish grammar. So it would not be only useful for this class, but also if you decide to continue learning Spanish. Okay. So we will use worksheets. I have PowerPoints and web pages that I have created based on these topics. I'm going to talk about that in a bit, but this is how it breaks down. So lesson one kind of like encompass, you learning to share personal information, very basic. That include greetings and introductions, polite expressions, asking questions, right? And answering questions, describing yourself a little bit. And that kind of like continued to the next unit, which is personalidades, personalities. So you will be able to describe yourself and others, describe places, and also it is important for you to know this class is not only about vocabulary and grammar. An important aspect of my teaching methodology is to include cultural aspects, right? And explain why things are the way they are. And also, I use, English. When we teach language classes, we tend to focus on like this is academic, right? Academic setting, academic structures. Will be teaching them how to write properly, but at the same time, language is something that is live, right? Is constantly evolving. So I like to incorporate cultural notes, as I call it, and I present you with variations of the same expressions. So you will learn how to use um, a standardized, you could say, I don't like that word either, grammar and sentence structure. But at the same time, you're gonna learn how it's actually used in the same expression or the same idea in Mexico, in Peru, in Colombia, etc. Right? So together with that, right, as we go through all the lessons, you're gonna see videos, you're gonna see audios. Sometimes I even have clips of songs, right? Latin American music, Latin rhythms that you will be able to put the what you learn is like, oh, I recognize this. Maybe you're not able to understand the whole lyrics of the song, but you will be picking here and there some of these terms that you learn in this lesson. So it's very dynamic in that sense. So lesson 3 will, the main topic will be la familia, the family. You will be talking about members of your family, how they are related to each other, things that you do for fun together, things like that. And the family in Spanish speaking countries. So we're going to have videos related to that. Lesson 4, los pasatiempos, which is pastimes, activities that you do for fun during different time of the years. Also, sports. We're going to be talking about sports here, whether you practice or not. Some very popular sports in Latin America versus right those sports that are popular here. And then lesson 5, las vacaciones. You're going on vacation, you're going to be planning your vacation. So even though this course, Spanish 101, and this level focus on using only the present tense, once that you arrive to lesson 5, you will be able to actually talk about the future, but using present tense, right? So we will learn about that. So also in this unit, you will talk about your daily routine, things that you do in your daily basis, and then planning vacations, and it's kind of cumulative. You at this point you have so much. You should be able to build so much vocabulary and the structure. Already how to conjugate, ideally, right? Verbs and writing long sentences. So that you will be able to talk about your vacation, your life. So it's a summary of everything that you learn during the entire semester. Very interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy the structure uh, and the themes and videos and materials that I have here for you. So let me show you where everything is and how how is the evaluation, how I'm going to be, you guys are going to be evaluated. Okay, so the class material. So if you go to your Brightspace course, right, you're going to find on your right side content browser, right? So this is the easiest way to access all these materials. So you have this folder, Harbison Lesson Series. So this is call it ebook, right? And it's divided by chapters or units. um but actually lesson 1 and 2 are together, so it's like one web page where I have both units in one. And the reason behind that is that at your midterm, your first exam is only going to be focusing on lesson 1 and 2. So lesson 1 is kind of short. So I kind of like, why not doing just one page? So and then you can navigate right? Back and forth, especially when you're studying for that midterm exam. Okay. So, and then if you look at here, you have the different folders, right, for each lesson. So if you click on one of these, you're going to find vocabulary list related to that unit and all the grammar structures in the format as a PowerPoints. There are PowerPoints that you can, um, you know, open those and study, for example, the present tense for the AR verbs, only that, or how to use adjective, only that. So it's very helpful, and you can also download the material and keep it, right, for because this is something, this is level one, but you kind of, as you move forward, in Spanish, the different levels, right? Spanish 102, you kind of like want to review the material for 101. So it is a very useful source for you to get all the material and information you need for this class and future class you're taking. Um, Let me see. Okay, so I keep here and explaining everything. So where to submit your worksheets. So each lesson, you need to complete a worksheet, right? Some units are longer than others, but it really doesn't matter. It's for you to practice and kind of demonstrate your knowledge, right? What I do recommend is to review all these resources ahead of time, right? You study, you practice, and when you think you know this, I got this, then you go ahead and go to the worksheet and work on it. Okay, very important. Don't just go to the worksheet and start guessing, like, how do I complete this? How do I write this? So you need to study ahead of time. Your class participation. So students registered in online courses demonstrate attendance because since this is a synchronous class, right? So we don't meet in a daily basis like a regular classroom or a synchronous class. So the only way for you to demonstrate attendance, and this is important, is by accessing, right, your Brightspace, right? There is a tool on Brightspace where we can see whether or not the student visit the site and if the student access a specific folder, right? The professor have information, right? Ways to know this. So if the student failed to visit the class in the entire week, sometimes 2 weeks, that's not active participation. That would be an issue. And you might be withdrawn from the class, especially during the first week, right? We need to report this. So please make sure that you visit the class, right? Brightspace, this platform, at least twice a week, okay? Extended, and in a highlight, is extended periods of absence as determined by instructor may cause for withdrawal. And I'm gonna explain the different types of withdrawal we have and when this will take place. The first one is the non-show withdrawal. So this will happens during the first week. So as soon as today, Thursday, so tomorrow, by the end of the day, I will check if a student didn't visit the platform Brightspace at all, right? Or access any of the materials or complete the first assignments, right? That a student will be withdrawn from the class. The other time that this will happen is during or after midterm, right? So after, I will say, the first 3 weeks of the semester, or 4 maybe, we will check if the student is not, again, accessing, right, Brightspace. We will, or completing the assignments. You at least will need to have 50% of the assignment complete. So if a student failed to do that, it would be withdrawal as well. Okay, so please make sure that you are visiting the site, checking your emails, your announcement, and accessing the materials for the class. So here I just explained the way, right, of the class activities. So those worksheets, each one is worth 13%. Okay, so that will count as a 65% of your final grade. So it is heavy. If you miss to submit one of the worksheet, right there, it's a lower grade, right? Lower letter grade, 13%. So they're super important. It's the way for me to know whether the student is understanding the material, you master the material, you moving forward, right? So please make sure you start, sometimes don't wait until the last minute to work on your assignments, start studying slowly but steady. If you have questions, especially by unit 3, you're going to see that there is escalate. The activities are going to be a little more challenging. The materials are more demanding, right? The grammar. So please, I'm here to help you and support in everything I can. So reach out. Even though it's not during my office hours, I will be available. Send me an email. I can send you more material. We can meet via Zoom and we can have a one-on-one to three. But let me know ahead of time, right? Be proactive. Do not wait until the last minute, right? The end of the semester. I need to pass this class. I don't know what I'm doing. No, that would not be a smart way of navigating this course. You need to work, constantly studying the material, right? Practicing at home and reaching out to your professor with enough time, right? So I can help you out. Okay. Um, Let me see. Yeah, just making sure that I say everything. Okay. What will happen? You say, oh, you missed the due date for X reason, and you still want to submit it. So can you still submit your work? Yes, you can't do that, but there will be a penalty, 5%, minus 5% for every late date. And after 10 days, since this is a short semester, I would not longer consider that assignment. Okay. Okay, quizzes. For your quizzes, what I have in place are oral evaluations. So there are 5 quizzes worth 2% each. This is 10% of your final grade. So there is one after every lesson. And the questions, and you will have to answer questions. The questions are in the instructions once that you open the quiz. So you will be recording your voice. Okay, this quiz is recording your voice in Spanish, answering these questions. Okay. There is no need for a special software or anything. The recording is embedded on Brightspace, so all you need to do, and I'm going to show you later, all you need to do is to click on the button say record, and that's it, and I start talking. And you get also the chance to review your recording. So if you're not satisfied, you can repeat it as many times as you want to. Just make sure that when you're satisfied with the result, you say add, and that will be, once that you add it, you cannot, right, delete that. Is only one attempt. Okay, so make sure you do that. Actually, before I'm going to show you right now, I will need to stop sharing and then find it. Let me see. I think it's easy if I show you right now. Yeah. So now what I did was I left my PowerPoint and I'm back to Brightspace, the course page. Okay, so where to find your quizzes and worksheets? So they are in the top menu. Go to assessments and then assignments. Right? So here you have your worksheet. And I want to click here. Right? And here again, I advise you, please review your materials before, write the content, all the grammar before you attempt to complete the worksheet. I also ask you to please double check the spelling before submitting because accent marks and punctuation marks are considered errors in your spelling. Okay, so make sure you have those in place. And I have a link here where I teach you or show you how to add accent marks and special symbols to your work. Okay. Another important note here, and I want to highlight this, I will not accept any picture or handwritten work. Okay, you need to type your answers. And this is the payoff. This is some students complain or like, oh, this is so much work. But think about this. You are saving a lot of money by not buying a test book. I'm giving you these worksheets. I need to be able to give you feedback. I need to be able to understand your writing. So some students just, the handwriting is not as as legible as they might think, and also, the pictures are not so good. So it's very difficult for me to give you feedback because what am I going to write? It's a picture. So for all those reasons. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pause here. So yeah, for all those reasons, I will ask the students, it is required, right, for you to type your answers and use it, use either a Word document. It is a Word document actually, but you can convert it in a PDF file. That's up to you for. But yeah, a Word document or PDF file, but I would not accept any picture or handwritten work. I cannot emphasize that enough. If the students submit uh the work in this format, I would not consider, and you will receive a 0. Okay. So let me go back. And I'm going to click on the quiz and show you how to submit your recording. It's very easy. So once you click on your quiz, in the instruction, you have your questions. Quiz 1 and 2. The questions will be in English because I'm considering you and you're not as fluent yet. You're just learning, right? Starting to learn the material and the words. So this is what I asked for you. And of course, the answers are in Spanish. In the past, I believe it or not, I have students that is like, oh, okay. So, and they record answering the questions in English. Like, yeah, that happens, but that's not supposed to happen. This is in a Spanish class, so you are being evaluated how to you learn, right? The target language in this case is Spanish. So state your name, spell your first name. So you're gonna learn spelling, you the alphabet, and answer the question, where are you from? The time of your Spanish class, because you're gonna learn in this unit how to tell time, and how many students are in a class. You're going to learn numbers from 0 to 30. So you should be able to answer all these questions beautifully. So how do I do this? Very easy. So as you can see here, you move towards the bottom and you have this button that says record audio. Okay. So let's do a test here. Right. So all you got to do is click on this blue button and start talking. Okay. Aquí estoy haciendo una prueba de audio para que mis estudiantes puedan entender cómo, right, incluir su voz, right, y mandar su trabajo.
Aquí estoy haciendo una prueba de audio para que mis estudiantes puedan entender cómo, right, incluir su voz, right, y mandar su trabajo.
Okay, so you're not satisfied with this, right? I'm not satisfied with that. My voice sounds awful, whatever. My pronunciation is off. I want to do it again. And you could. Okay, so all you gotta do is, okay, I'm recording this again because I didn't like the first attempt. So let's do this again. You stop the recording.
Okay, I'm recording this again because I didn't like the first attempt. So let's do this again.
Yeah.
You stop the recording.
There you go. So very easy. So no need to do your recording with the special software or anything. Everything here is here available on Brightspace. So you are happy with your submission, your recording, you just have to click add. Once that you click add, this will close, and then do not forget to click on submit. And that's how I receive your work. Okay. And again, you can listen to your recording as many times as you want. You can, you know, again, click new recording and try again as many times as you need to. Just make sure when you're satisfied, you click add and then submit. That's it. And that's for all 5 quizzes. Okay. So let me go back to presentation. Here we go. Okay, exams. So this is something that I'm trying new this semester because sometimes in the past I have students struggling. These are the assignments that are worth the most. Um, and you know, some students that really get very nervous, even though they know the material, they just totally freak out. And this is an only one chance, right? You cannot retake an exam. So I thought about, well, why not to offer instead of 2 exams, 3? And then your lowest test score will be dropped. So what I recommend, I only need 2 exams. What I recommend to students is to take all 3, especially exam 2, because it's a multiple choice exam all through it. There's a listening portion, but you know, you don't have to write at all actually. Um, so I highly recommend it, and I only focus on lesson 3 and 4, right? And it is worth 15%, just like exam 3. Exam 3 is even though it especially focus on lesson 3, 4, and 5, is more cumulative, right? Everything that you study during the semester, it will be there, right, in that exam. So it's a little more intense and you have to write more, okay? Nevertheless, you give it a shot, right? So let's say you have exam 1, you receive 70, right? It should not be the case because it's the easiest one. It's less material and it's very easy. You will see. Um, you got a 70, but then exam 2 you got 90. Great. But what about, let's take exam 3 and see if I can improve that 70 and I get to drop that one. So these are the choices. So all 3 exams will be available for 3 days. Okay. Um, once that you open the assignment, you only have an hour and 40 minutes to complete it. Okay. If you finish before that, great. But only 1 hour and 40 minutes you have to complete your exam. You cannot save your work. So once that you open, the clock will be running and it will stop at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay. So that's the time that you have. You just select the best day that worked for you and you know, complete your assignment. That's it. That's how it works. They are not makeup exams, right? Or extensions. Since I'm giving you all these choices, this is it. So make sure that you include these days on your calendar. Work ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to be taking all 3, and I'm only going to focus on exam 1 and 2. That's fine. Or maybe exam 1, you are all stressed out. You have no time to study for exam 2. Skip it. Exam 3, it's up to you. Again, I only need 2 exams, right? To calculate your final grade. This is where to find them. You go to the top menu. Again, you go to assessments. And then it will be on the quizzes. I know, even though there are exams, are on the quizzes, the system is the term that they decide to use, even even for exams, and there's no way that I can change it. So sorry about that. But anyway, exams will be under quizzes. All right. And these are your student learning outcomes, right? By the end of the semester, this is all you will be able to achieve, right? Recognize, answer, and ask questions in a variety of topics. Describe people and places, narrate recurring events. And again, this is all using only present tense. Engage in a basic Spanish conversation at a slow pace. I don't expect students, taking, finishing with the Spanish 101 and just being very fluent. That's not the expectations here. At a low pace, but correctly, right? That you can be understood by others. Write brief general descriptions about people and places, as well as the narration using short phrases, and demonstrate a first-hand knowledge about various cultures of the Spanish-speaking world. As I explained earlier, right, during this presentation, that's a very important element that I wanted to incorporate in each lesson. So depending on the topic, you're gonna find videos, readings, all associated with life and culture in a Spanish-speaking world. Okay. And finally, right, this is the summary of evaluation. So your worksheets, each worth 13%, counting toward, right, 65, 5 quizzes, 2%, 10% of your final grade, and 3 exams, but only 2 are required. Notice that the easiest one, right? Exam 1 that only focus on lesson 1 and 2 is worth 10%. However, exam 2 and 3 are worth 15%. Let's say that you, which I don't recommend, by the way, because it's easy to get an A, right, on exam 1. But let's say that you decided not to take exam 1 and you're taking exam 2 and 3. Notice that they both are 15%. So you have 5% like extras, right? You will be, having a 30% total for your exam. This is kind of like an extra credit, right? So consider that as well. But again, I do recommend to take an exam 1, especially you're gonna feel more familiar with the format, right? And you're gonna navigate a lot easier if you already experienced, taking exam 1 and then you take the other exams. Okay, just my recommendation. Okay, so in order to pass the class, you will need to receive a C. This is the scale, the grading scale, right? I know I'm so sure that you guys are gonna do great, and you are gonna pass the class. Let's hope for that. Yeah, why not? All right. Some tips for success, right? Consult Brightspace calendar and announcement, often. Don't wait to do your assignments in the last minute, right? Or reaching out to your professor in the last minute. That would not be smart at all. And that's it. That's pretty much summarized, right? What my advice for successful success in this class, or to be successful in this class. And my last slide here, it's right again. I'm mentioning this place that you have on Brightspace is a discussion forum. Highly recommended. Only a few students use it. It's a shame. It's a good resource. You help each other out. It's also a good way to contact your teammates or classmates. Just study together, just practicing Spanish. It's very useful. So anyway, it's there for you to use it. So, and it's gonna be entitled, like, I barely check on it. It's meant for students, okay? So yeah, take advantage of this. Why not? Okay, guys. So this is everything that I have for you. This is at the end of my presentation. This recording is going to be available on Brightspace for you to access. I'm going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. on the Zoom room. The address or the invite, the link is already on Brightspace. However, I'm just going to be sitting there while I do some other things. For those students that have specific questions, you have any issue going on. So this is a one-on-one, occasion, one-time occasion that you have to talk with me one-on-one about any questions you might have about the course. Okay. But again, I think you have enough information. Many of the the explanations that I share here with you today, they are found also on Brightspace and the document that I created on frequently asked questions. Um, a frequently asked question I created. Oh my God, I'm a little bit off now. That I created that is already posted and I sent it to you in an email on Brightspace. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And here I end my orientation. Bye.